It is officially January 2025, and in a few days, the Trump administration is going to start all over again. And I want to spend the time in this video breaking down the 5 things that he can do in the first week that can greatly impact immigrants in the US. And a lot of these things do not require congressional action. So that's why I wanted to do this video. To recap, assert your right to remain silent. We're not going to argue about this. Assert your right to remain silent. Never open your door to ICE unless they have a signed warrant from a judge with your name on it. And finally, never sign anything from ICE, from the police, from anyone, without speaking with an attorney first, because you need to make sure what you're signing before you end up losing the status that you do have or voluntarily choosing to be deported. Okay, so if you are undocumented and you have children in the US, I know one of your biggest fears is not being able to care for your children. If you're picked up by ICE, what will happen to your kids? All of those things. I have the same fear last year when I was, talking to my husband. What would happen to us if one of us passes away? What happens to our kids? And in that situation, instead of freaking out and just feeling defeated by the thought of it, we came up with a plan, and we did our estate planning. We have, our powers of attorney. We know who is going to be taking care of our kids if anything were to happen to us.
We made it through the first week of the new Trump administration. And when I tell you I have whiplash, I have whiplash. There's been a lot that happened this past week, and I'll be breaking down all the executive orders and how it could affect your immigration journey. So stick around for that. I heard someone say the other day that this is not Trump 2.0. This is all Trump 1.0, because in this administration, he literally has no guardrails, right? There's no one there that is telling him no. There's no adults in the room. So we have every single thing that he wants to do. There's no one saying no to him. So he's able to, get Congress on board, get his people, his cabinet on board with these things.
This is a game changer, right? The Lincoln-Riley Act is a game changer because it gives the Department of Homeland Security more power to detain people mandatorily, right? Mandatory detention basically means the US government will detain the non-citizen until their immigration court case is over. Okay? Mandatory detention says if this person falls into the mandatory detention category, they will be detained. They will not be released. They will not be given bond, none of that. They will be detained until their immigration court case is over. Either they win the court case or they lose the court case. But regardless, they will be detained until that final decision is made. If you have been on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, like WhatsApp, anywhere this past week, you have seen the story of the woman from Ivory Coast that supposedly was not allowed to enter the US or had her US passport taken away from her because she did not leave the US on that passport, and she entered her country of origin, Ivory Coast, with that country's passport instead of her US passport. And people are freaking out. When I tell you people are freaking out, people are freaking out. I was on an immigration panel where basically it was a community organized panel where people were asking questions, wanting to get updates on what's going on with the administration, and this question came up. And that's just how much these rumors travel. Like, it travels fast, and with everything else going on, people get scared whenever anything that they've been doing for years changes, people are going to get scared. So in this video, I'm going to answer that question, and I'm going to actually direct you to the US State Department website where it says what you can and can't do as a dual citizen.
The Trump administration has said that their goal is to end unlawful immigration into the U.S. However, their policies can affect your green card application. So let's talk about how the path to green cards has now shifted. So if you have a green card application pending or you're planning on applying for a green card, watch this video because we're going to break down how the new policies can affect your case.
Not heard, USCIS was given an NTA memo that basically says, depending on the type of case and the history, they can put people in deportation proceedings if they deny their application. So if you're filing for a green card and they deny your application, you can be put in deportation proceedings. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the objections USCIS may have on your case and turn those red flags that they may be latching onto into green flags.
I am sure you have heard the stories of people being denied entry into the US or having their visas revoked because of what they have on their social media, what they have on their phone. And Customs and Border Patrol sometimes have access to your devices when you're trying to come into the US. Let's talk about it. So 2 to 3 years ago, I did a video on filing for your overstayed parents, and someone recently commented on one of my videos and says, can you do an updated version of that video, especially with everything going on with the Trump administration? Well, here is that video. I always tell y'all to ask me questions because I may end up doing a whole video on it. Well, this person asked, and now here's the video. The top question that I have been receiving on my CRBA video is, what documentation can I bring or use to prove my residency in the United States? This is so important because it is such a big part of the CRBA process. When you are applying for a consular report of birth abroad, you're basically saying that the day your child was born, they are a US citizen. You have to meet certain requirements in order to actually show that your child was automatically a citizen the day they were born, even though they were born outside of the US. This may require you to show 5 years of physical presence in the US, and for some people, that is difficult for them to wrap their heads around of the 5 years. Is it just 5 years of having a residence in the US or 5 years of physical presence in the US? And I want to make something clear in this video. It is 5 years of physical presence in the US.
You followed the rules, you took the oath, and you became a US citizen. But now, under the new DOJ memo released on June 11, your citizenship can be at risk. This isn't fear-mongering. It's a real policy that authorizes denaturalization like never before. In this video, I am going to break down what this memo says, what it means for millions of naturalized citizens, and who could be targeted even years after becoming a US citizen. On August 1st, 2025, USCIS updated its policy manual when it came to family-based petitions. In this video, I'll be breaking down what those changes are and how it can affect pending cases and future cases. Family-based petitions are not just petitions for spouses, it also includes children, parents, siblings, right? So it's any family-based petition that you are filing falls under this category, and these changes in the policy manual can affect your case dependent on your particular situation.
Your marriage interview is the final step to getting your green card, and they are also where a lot of couples mess up. And in this video today, I am going to be acting out a real marriage interview situation so that you can see the awkward moments, the red flags, and we can see if you can pick out some of the red flags before I call them out, and the unexpected questions that you may actually get at your marriage green card interview.
It's done on a form called I-360. You start this multi-step journey. So let's take a look at what that path generally looks like. But before we get into the timeline, let me just say this again, because it's the most important thing to know. This whole process is safe. It's 100% confidential. Your abuser will not find out. The system is built to protect you, okay? While these time frames can definitely change, the structure is what's important, okay?
Today, we are breaking down a massive change from USCIS that affects thousands of immigrant families: the calculation of a child's age under the Child Status Protection Act, or CSPA. If your family is pursuing a green card through a preference category, this change can be the difference between your child getting permanent residency with you or aging out and facing decades of separation. Are you looking to file a marriage-based green card application in 2025? Let's talk about the 3 things you need to know before you file your marriage-based green card application. The first one being interviews. Let's talk about the interview process because it has changed. The second thing that you need to know is about the timeline from when you file to when your green card application is actually approved. The third thing you need to know is all about evidence. Like we talked about in the second thing, the timeline is now really quick, so you want to make sure that while you're filing your application, you are including as much evidence as possible to show the officer your relationship. That means you are not waiting till your interview to bring evidence. You are including it with the initial application. On December 2nd, 2025, USCIS issued a new policy memo that basically affects 19 countries, and we're going to be talking about how these policy changes are going to affect people from these 19 countries and what it means for them moving forward. This new USCIS policy guidelines affect 19 countries that were part of the travel ban that was announced in June of 2025 as part of a presidential proclamation. So it's really important to note that this is not for every single person, every single country. It's specific to these 19 countries that are considered high risk to the US government. The 19 high risk countries are Afghanistan, Burma, Burundi, Chad, Cuba, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Laos, Libya, Republic of the Congo, Sierra Leone, Somalia, Sudan, Togo, Turkmenistan, Venezuela, and Yemen. The Trump administration has added more countries to the travel ban list, and we're going to talk about which countries were added, what this new travel ban means for those countries, and what you can expect moving forward with your case if you're from one of these countries. With the new ban, we are having additional countries added to the full travel ban. So these are the countries that have been added to the full travel ban, meaning a full suspension on entry, meaning they're not going to be issued new visas to the US. So you are not getting an immigrant visa to the US, you are not getting a non-immigrant visa to the US if you are on this list, okay? So the new countries on the full travel ban list are Burkina Faso, Laos, Mali, Niger, Sierra Leone, South Sudan, Syria. And individuals from Palestine and have travel documents issued by the Palestinian authorities. The new countries on the partial travel ban list, again, there's 15 of them, are Angola, Antigua and Barbuda, Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, Dominica, Gabon, the Gambia, Malawi, Mauritania, Nigeria, Senegal, Tanzania, Tonga, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. Like I said, this list is for partial travel ban. 2025 has been quite the year for immigrants, immigration lawyers, immigration law and policy. It has been crazy, and I have learned some very valuable lessons that I will be taking into 2026. So let's go over some of these things. I am U.S. immigration lawyer Lillian Chukura, and I have been helping my clients get green cards and citizenships for the past 10 years, and I love what I do. If you or someone you know are going through or looking to start an immigration process and you are looking for an immigration attorney to help you with that process, please feel free to reach out to me through my website lillylegal.com. Click on contact us and you can see the dates and times that I am available for us to chat about your case. This is a 15-minute session that is completely free, and we talk about your situation and plan out your next steps.